Okay, chapter 2.2, simplifying variable expressions. Okay, in this section we will learn a variable lots of properties for addition and multiplication, but these are very basic. Okay, the first property is commutative property of addition, commutative or commutative. So the commutative property means, exchange AB. So this is an addition. So A plus B is an addition. So the commutative property of addition is you can just interchange the terms A and B. That's it. So just interchange two terms A and B. So B plus A. This is true, isn't it? 2 plus 1, when 2 plus 1, then you can add 1 plus 2, which is same as this is 3, this is 3. So interchange A and B are still same. So this is called commutative property of addition. How about commutative property of multiplication? Okay, multiplication is there's an expression, multiplying product expression. So A times B. This is a multiplication, so we can write it as A plus B. Then is it okay interchange A and B? Yes, it is okay. So B times A is still fine. So for example, 2 times 3 is 6. If you interchange these two factors, still this is equal to 6, right? So interchanging factors. So if we have an expression, multiplication expression, then we call this A and B. We call this A and B factors. These are factors. But for this addition, this A and B are called what? Terms. Okay, A and B are numbers or variables. Then their names are different. If for addition, each part is called terms. For product multiplication, each part is called what? Factors. All right, next definition is associative property of addition and multiplication. Associative means the order of A, B, C are same. Okay, in this case, there are three numbers or variables. This is addition, so let me write three numbers or three variables: A plus B plus C. Okay, so this one is we don't want to exchange anything. I will just write those three numbers, variables in order. Okay, same order: A, B, C, A, B, C. Associative is what we do is we change the grouping. So there are three numbers you want to add. Then you can add the first two numbers, A and B, A plus B first, and then add C to the result. This is exactly same as add the last two. Instead of the first two, we will add the last two. So, and then add A to the result. So B plus C and then add A to the result. This is same actually. So we call this associative property. Associative property, the order is same, A, B, C, A, B, C. The order of numbers, variables are exactly the same. What we do is change the grouping. Okay, how about the associative property of multiplication? Okay, three variables, that is three numbers, A, B, C. A times B plus C. Also, we have another exactly the same order on the right side of the equation, and this will be equal although we change the order, we change the grouping. So I want to multiply AB first and then multiply by C, or multiply BC first and then multiply to the number A, variable A. So this is called associative property. Okay. Okay, how about this? What if I have something like this? Here is AB multiplied by C, and then is this associative property or multiplication property. I want to exchange C and AB. Is this associated property? Okay, think. The answer is what? No, this is commutative property of multiplication. Why? Commutative property. Why? Because we just exchanged this one and this one, right? Okay, for the associated property, ABC must be the same. ABC. But this is different. The order of ABC is different. What we did is we changed these two groups, A, B, and C. Exchange the first part and the second part. So this is commutative property. Commutative. Not enough. This is called what? Commutative property. Which one? This guy. Okay. All right. Addition property of 0 is, okay, this is the expression is an addition, and we want to add 0 to the expression. So, okay, here is expression A, and then plus what? 0. So A is added by 0. Then what is the result? The result is, of course, 0, right? 0. So, whenever you add, 0 to some number, add a number by some 0, then what? Always 0. Sorry, A. A, right? A. The number itself. Okay, A added by some number, 0. Always, this is 0. Then what? The number itself, A. Okay, A. Okay, multiplication property of 0. So this is a product. So A times, what happens? A is multiplied by 0. Then this is equal to, always what? 0, right? 0. So example, 3 plus 0 is what? 0, right? 0. The number, why is 0? The number 3. 3 plus 0 is the number itself, 3. Okay, 8 times 0 is what? Okay, 3 times 0. What is 3 times 0? 3 times 0 is always 0. 0. Example. Okay, next one. Multiplication property of 1. Okay, this expression is a multiplication. So here is number A. Okay, let's say A is a number. And then this number is multiplied by 1. 1. Does it look like 1? Okay, then always, the result is always the number, right? The number itself, A. Okay, so here is number 3. 3 times 1 is equal to 3, right? 3. Okay, always number is multiplied by 1, then it is the number itself. Okay, I think you have no problem with this. Okay, now inverse property of addition. This is really important. Inverse property of addition and multiplication. This means here is number A, and I want to add this number by something so that the result will be 0. 0. How can you make this number 0 by adding something? Here. So A. So what we do is we add what? The opposite of A, which is negative A. The opposite of A. Opposite. We call this opposite. Opposite of A. Opposite of A is called, just put the negative sign, just change the sign. This means change the sign. Change the sign. Okay, so for example, you have a number 3, and 3 plus what? Negative 3 will be what? 0, right? 0. 3 plus negative 3 means 0. Or 3 minus 3 is 0, right? 3. This means 3 minus 3. This means 3 minus 3, right? So that is equal to 0. So when you add number, the opposite of a number, then it will become 0. Okay, inverse property of multiplication. All right, here's a number. Okay, this time, okay, let's say the number is A. The number is A, and I want to add this multiplication. So A times what? A times what becomes 1. Okay, not 0, 1. Okay, this is very important. What we do is we will multiply the reciprocal of this number. Reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of A? It will be 1 over A. Right? That's the reciprocal. Reciprocal of A. That means interchange the numerator and the denominator. Numerator and the denominator. So for example, here is 2/3. 2/3. So 2/3 times what? Should be equal to 1. The reciprocal. The reciprocal is what? And interchange the numerator and the denominator. So 3 over 2. Reciprocal. Right? Reciprocal of the number. Okay, A is what? A is A over 1, isn't it? A over 1. So A over 1. So what's the reciprocal? 1 over A, right? 1 over A. A over 1 means 1 over A. So that is called inverse property of multiplication. And lastly, the last one is distributive property. Okay, distributive property is a product, but one of them has a parenthesis like B plus C. B plus C. So here's a parenthesis B plus C, and this parenthesis contains an addition. Okay, always this is an addition. Then I want to multiply this addition by some number A. Then we can use distribution property, which means A times B. Multiply each term in the parenthesis. So multiply B and C, each term B and C by the factor A. So A times B is just A times B, isn't it? A times B. And then plus stays the same. Multiply the second term C by A. So A times C. Okay. So that's the distribution property. So this distribution property is really simple. So for example, here is 2 and 3 plus 4. Then what we do is 2 times 3. Okay, 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. And then simplify. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So the sum is 14. Okay, what if we have a factor on the right side of the number? 3 plus 4 times 2. Still the same. Distribute each 3 and 4 by this 2. Like this. So this means 3 times 2 plus 4 times 2. Then 6 plus 8 is 14. And same answer. So if a factor is on the left side of the parenthesis or right side of the parenthesis, it doesn't matter. Just multiply each term inside the parenthesis by the factor. Okay, example 1. Exercise 1. Okay, apply the commutative property of multiplication. So we have an equation, and the left side of the equation is 6 times 5. And the right side is something times 6. So this question mark should be what? Interchange these two, right? Interchange these two factors, 5 and 6. So this question mark should be the number 5. Interchange, 5 and 6. That's it. Commutative property. Okay, now problem 1. Apply the inverse property of addition. Inverse property of addition, this is an addition. Inverse property means I want to add something to a number so that the result is 0. The result is 0. Then what should be this guy? The opposite This should be the opposite of what? Opposite of 7, which is negative 7. Now change the sign of this guy. Change. So negative 7. So 7 plus negative 7 should be what? 0, right? 0. Or 7 minus 7 is 0. So negative 7. Opposite of the negative, opposite of 7 should be added to that number. Okay, example 2. Okay, identify the property. Look at this. We have a parenthesis A and B. Parenthesis 8 and 5 and 8 and 5. This is an addition, right? So what we did is multiply the first number 8 by 2, which is 16. And multiply the second number 5 by 2, which is 10. So this is distribution property, right? Distribution property. This is the distribution property. All right, how about the next one? Next one is, look at the equation. Here's numbers. There are 3 numbers, 5, 13, 7, 5, 13, 7. The order of the positions of 3 numbers are the same. 5, 13, 7, 5, 13, 7. The difference is the left side of the equation is adding the last 2 numbers, but the right side is adding the first 2 numbers. You know, the grouping is different, right? Grouping is different grouping. So since we are using the different grouping, this is what? Associative property, right? Associative property of addition. This expression is an addition. So addition. Okay, grouping, different grouping, right? Different grouping. Grouping. Addition property of associative property of addition. All right. Okay, next definition is like or the like terms. Okay, like terms. Okay, like terms means terms are separated by addition or subtraction, right? And like terms means each part is the terms are each part called terms. The like terms are those terms whose variables and its exponent is always the same. So for example, we have an expression, addition and subtraction together. Okay, from this, the like terms are this. 2x, okay, 2x contains the variable x and the exponent is 1. So this 2x and here is minus 5x. Minus 5x means with a single number, it will be negative 5x. So this expression has variable x, x has exponent 1, right? So these 2 are the like terms. So 2x and negative 5x are the like terms. Then, we can add these 2. All right. How about the numbers? 4 and 9. Positive 4. This is positive 9. Actually, positive 4 and positive 9. And these 2 are also like terms. How about this one? Negative 3x squared. Negative 3x squared is the only one, so that is no like terms. This one has no like terms. It has only one variable term. What if I add another term like 2x squared? 2x squared. Then this negative 3x squared and positive 2x squared, these 2 are the like terms because this term has variable x, both has variable x and the exponent is 2, same exponent. Okay, so they are like terms. How about this? What if I add more like a plus 3ab minus 4ab? Then yes, these 2 are the like terms. 3ab and this whole negative 3ab are the like terms. Why? Because these terms contains variables a, b, a, b together, and their exponents are the same, like terms. So, like terms, for example, let's give some example of like terms. 3x and 4x, right? Okay, how about 2xy and negative 4xy? They're like terms, right? How about let me separate by vertical bars, right? What else? I think vertical bar is no good. Why don't we just put like this? Okay, how about negative 3x squared y and 2x squared y? Are they like terms? Yes, because variable x has squares, and there's only one variable. There's a variable y, so they are same. Okay, how about not like terms? Not like terms. Okay, not like terms is this: 2x and how about 4y? 2x and 4y. They are different, not like terms, because this one has variable x, this is variable y, different variables. So this is not like terms. How about this? 6ab and negative 2a squared b. Are they like terms? No, this is not like terms, because both terms has ab, right? ab, but a has different exponents. So these are not like terms. All right, so when we have a like terms, then how do you add? All right, so let's try this example. Okay, negative 2y and 3y. These two terms are like terms. So let me write an equation. Equals. So this expression is equals to. How do you add these two? Okay, if these are like terms, then what we do is, do you remember the distribution property? Yeah, distribution property. Here, distribution property, all the way up. AB plus AC. Then A is a common factor. So put A on the left side and put parentheses. Like that. Very simple. So this is actually equal to, what we do is we will add the coefficient of y. The coefficient of y is negative 2. So add negative 2 and 3 multiplied by y. Very simple. What we do is just add the coefficients followed by the variables. All right, then negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So 1 times y. Don't leave it 1 times y. 1 times y is always equal to what? 1, right? 1. Always equal to y. So 1 times y is y. So the answer is y. Okay, the next one is the same. Are they like terms? Yes, this is 5x. This is negative 11x. They are like terms. So what we do is add up the coefficients. Add 5 and negative 11. So 5 minus 11x. So this is negative 6x. Okay, so always add the coefficients. Okay, problem number 3. 9x plus 6x. These two are the like terms. So add the coefficients 9 and 6 followed by x. So that will be 15x, right? Okay, next one. Still same. They are like terms. y, right? y. So add. So when you add the coefficients, put parentheses. Negative 4 minus 7 followed by y. So that is equal to negative 11y. Okay, let's keep doing this. Okay, there are 3 terms in this case. So let's find out the like terms. Okay, 3y and negative 8y are the like terms. And 8x is not. So 8x is not a like term, so leave it. And then what we do is add the coefficients 3 and negative 8. So 3 minus 8y. Then 8x plus negative 5y. Negative 5y, right? Then this is 8x. Okay, once we have a plus and negative number, then we just make it minus 5y. Can you see this part? So when we add the coefficients 3 minus 8, that becomes negative 5. So negative 5y. And since this is an addition, so plus and minus becomes minus. Okay, this becomes minus 5y. Okay, the next one is 4x squared and negative 6x squared. These two are the like terms. So we can add 4 and negative 6. Okay, plus the next one is 5x and minus 2x. These two are the like terms. So add the coefficients 5 minus 2. Put parentheses always. Then for the first expression, 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So negative 2x squared plus, for the second expression, 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3x. That's it, huh? That's it. One is negative 2x squared. Are these two like terms? Of course, not like terms. Not. This is x squared, x. Different. So leave it. Okay, problem 4. Same thing. 3a and 5a are the like terms. So put 3 and 5 together. Add these two. And negative 2b is not a like term, so leave it. Then 5 plus 3. 3 plus 5 is 8a minus 2b. These two are different terms, so leave it. Okay, the next one. Okay, x squared and 9x squared. These two are the like terms. These two are the like terms, so let's... Okay, x squared. What's the coefficient of x squared? Is 1, isn't it? 1. Coefficient of x squared is 1. So this is equal to 1 plus 9x squared. And these two are just numbers. Negative 7 minus 14. What's negative 7 minus... No. Okay, and then minus 7 minus 14. So that is equal to 10x squared. 10x squared. Negative 7 minus 14. What is these two numbers? Minus 21. So that's it. Okay, let's go on to the next definition. Okay, example 5, exercise 5. Let's simplify the variable expression using properties of multiplications. Okay, properties of multiplications. So, when you multiply, what we do? In this case, okay, let's, this is actually what? There are two numbers are multiplied. So one is positive, one is negative, then the result is negative. So actually the answer is negative 2x. Okay, the answer is negative 2x. But let's check how we got this is equal to negative 2x. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, so negative, okay, parenthesis, negative x can be, is it same as negative 1 times x, right? Negative 1 times x. And then using the associated property, can we exchange these two numbers, negative 1 and 2? Can we change the grouping, associated property? So 2 times negative 1. Can we do this one first? Times x, right? Then this is, multiplying these two numbers is negative 2x. So this is negative 2x. Now when we multiply the properties, it looks like this. It's more complicated. But, but this is the right step. But since this one takes time, you can multiply just two numbers, 2 and x, and then use the negative sign. How about this? If we use the properties of multiplications, then there will be 3 over 2 times. Okay, this parenthesis can be written as what? Okay, actually this is equal to 2 over 3 times x, isn't it? 2 over 3, the fraction, times x, which is same as 2x over 3. And using the associated property of multiplication, we can switch these two. regrouping. So 3 over 2 times 2 over 3 times x. And this product becomes, 3 cancel out, 2 cancel out, it becomes x. So the answer is x, right? X. Okay, by looking at the original expression, you can multiply the numbers. So 3 and 3 cancel out, 2 and 2 cancel out. The answer is only x. Okay, how about this one? Okay, 3 numbers are multiplied, 16, x, and 2. So why don't we just multiply 16 and 2? So that's 32x. This is the answer. But if we use the properties, then this will be what? Using the associative property, well, commutative property. Why don't we use the commutative property? So 2 and this whole thing. Exchange this whole thing. Exchange. So 2 times 16x. And then use associative property. Regrouping 2 times 16x. Then this is 32x. Right? So, when we apply the properties of multiplications, it takes time longer. So what we can do is we can do the shortcut. The shortcut is, multiply the numbers 16 and 2. Multiply everything, right? Multiply everything. Okay, problem 1. Okay, let's keep using the properties. Anyway, we know this answer. What's this answer? Multiply everything. -7. Now this means -7 times -2a. So multiply each number. So -7 times -2 is +14. So that's the answer. But once we use the properties, what we can do is use the associative property, -7 and -2 together, and then put them together, multiply by 8. So this is equal to what? -14a. So the answer is +14a, right? +14a. So the answer is 14a. Okay, how about this one? Actually, you can reduce, right? Reduce negative, positive. So reduce 30, divide 30 by 6, that is 5, right? So 5 times 5 is 25. Y squared is the answer. But when we use the properties, we will do what? Apply the associative property. Regrouping, right? Regrouping. -30. Regrouping. Y squared. And negative is positive. Negative is positive. So this becomes positive. 5 over 6 times what? 30, right? Like this. And then reduce. So 5 times 5 is 25, y squared. Okay, as I mentioned again, this one takes time, so just multiply the numbers. That is faster. -5x times -2. Okay, the number, what's the number? -2. Okay, this one. Then this should be equal to what? -5 times -2. -5 times -2, which is +10x. That's the solution. But if we want to use the properties, why don't we use the commutative property? So -2, just exchange these two expressions, and -5x. Then this is equal to -2 times -5. So why don't we just use the associative property, right? Associative property. Okay, this means, let me draw a large bracket. This means -5 times what? -5 times x, right? And then using the associative property, multiply -2 and -5 first, and then x. This one first, and then x. So -2 times -5 is 10x. So we just apply the properties of multiplications. But actually you don't have to. What we do is, since this is a product, multiply everything. Multiply the numbers, multiply the variables. That's it. Okay, using the distribution property, let's simplify the expression. Okay, distribution property is this. There's a parenthesis, and the parenthesis contains terms. So we will multiply each term inside the parenthesis by this factor. So this will be equal to negative 3 times 5, and then this plus sign stays, and then multiply this x by negative 3. Negative 3 times x. Then the first term will be 3 times 5 is negative 15, and this is minus 3x. Okay, so you can do the mental math. Multiply negative 3 and 5, which is negative 15. Multiply negative 3 and 4, that is negative 3x, which is minus 3x. So this is plus. Plus means, multiply these two and then write down the result. Okay, the next one is, here's 2x and negative 4. So parenthesis multiplied by negative. That means, okay, negative means negative 1, right? Negative 1. This is negative 1 times 2x minus 4. So you can multiply 2x by negative 1, right? Negative 1 times 2x. And then minus sign stays, negative 1 times 4. Okay, if this minus, then this minus sign goes over here, and 4. This 4 is multiplied by negative 1. Okay, 4 is multiplied by negative 1. And this, so negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And this is plus 4, right? Plus 4. Negative times negative is plus 4. Okay, if you are not sure, we can do one more step. This means negative 1 times what? Negative 1 times 2, right? X. And multiply negative 1 and 2 first. Okay, this means negative times negative 4. So finally, negative 2x, and negative times negative is positive. Opposite of negative is positive. Opposite of negative is what? Positive. So positive means plus 4, right? So we can do a mental math. What do we do? Multiply 2x by negative, which is negative 2x. Here you go. And next one is multiply this negative 4, this whole thing, negative 4 by what? Negative. So that's positive 4, right? You don't have to do all these steps. Okay, how about this one? Same thing, multiply 2x by 2. Okay, let me write it. 2x by what? 2. And the minus stays here, 6 times 2. Then using what, associative property? No, the commutative property, this will be 2 times 2y, and multiply, so that is 12. Then, I don't like to write all the steps. Using associative property, right? So 2 times 2y minus 12, so that is 4y minus 12. All right, this one takes time, so why don't we use multiply directly? So multiply 2y by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4y, and then minus 6 times 2. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. There you go. Okay, how about this? Okay, 5 times. Always simplify the parentheses, but the parentheses contains x, y, z, right? X, y, z. X, y, z. So that means multiply 5 and 3x, 5 and 7y, 5 and negative z. So 5 times 3x, multiply 5 and 7y, minus 5 and z, right? 5 and z. So that is equal to 15x, plus 5 times 7 is, okay, let me write one more time, because we don't want to skip the step, because we want to apply we want to apply the distribution property. So this means 5 and 3x. So multiply 5 and 3 first, x. Same thing, 5 and 7 first, y. This is minus 5z. So this is equal to, we just applied the association property and then multiply the numbers. 5 times 3 is 15x plus 35y minus 5z. Okay, let's check. Let's multiply directly using the distribution property. 5 times 3y, 3x. 3 times 5 is 15x. Here it is. 7y times 5 is 5 times 7, 35y. And negative 5 times z. So negative 5z. All right. And then for this problem 6, why don't we just directly multiply? Directly. Let's skip all the steps. So multiply 4 and 7. That is 28. And multiply 7 and 2y. So that is plus 2 times 7 is 14y. How about this? Multiply 5x by negative. So negative 5x. Multiply negative by negative is positive 12. How about this one? Multiply 3a and 5. So 3 times 5 is 15a. Multiply negative 1. Right? Negative 1 by 5 is negative 5. Simple, huh? Okay, next one. 6a squared. 6a squared is multiplied by negative 3. Negative 3. This whole negative 3. So negative 3 times 6 is negative 18a squared. Okay, the next one is multiply this negative 8. Negative 8a by negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 8. Use the mental math. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive. 3 times 8, 24. 8. Okay, finally, multiply this 9. This is plus 9. So positive 9 by negative 9. Negative 3 is negative 27, right? Okay, let's simplify this. We will do the same thing. Okay, this expression is more complicated, but still okay. What we do is distribute this xy. So this will be equal to 4x. The 4 times negative y, right? 4 times negative y is negative 4y. Okay, and then for the next expression, I will multiply this negative 3x by what? 2 or negative 3? Negative 2. 2 or negative 2? Multiply by negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 3x is positive 6x. Right? Okay, let's multiply 6y. This is positive 6y. So multiply this by negative 2. So negative 2 times positive 6 is minus negative 12. Negative 12 becomes minus 12y. And then combine the like terms. So 4 and 6x are the like terms. So when we add like terms, what do? Add the coefficients. 4 plus 6. Okay, 4 plus 6. X, right? And then plus what? These two are also like terms. 4y, negative 4y and negative 12y are the like terms. So add negative 4 and 12. Okay, negative 4 minus 12. So that is equal to 10x plus this is negative 16y. So 10x minus 16y. Okay, so what we do is distribute first and then combine the like terms. When you combine the like terms, we can do the mental math. 4x plus 6x is 10x. The next one is minus 4, minus 4y and minus 12y. So negative 4 minus 12 is negative 16. So write down negative 16y. So that is minus 16y. Right? Okay, for problem 7. Okay, let's do the same thing. Distribute 7x. Distribute minus. Okay, 7 times negative 2 is negative 14y. multiply these two, so negative x times, this time multiply, distribute with this factor negative 3, so that will be plus 3x, and then multiply these two, so negative 3 times negative 2, negative 3 times negative 2 is positive, so plus 6y, and then combine the like terms, 3x plus 3y, so 7 plus 3 is 10x. The next one is negative 14 and positive 16. Negative 14 and positive 16. So that is negative 8y. So minus 8y. So when you add, combine the like terms, if this positive, then positive becomes plus, and negative, then negative becomes minus. Okay, let's try example 8. Okay, example 8 has a bracket. This one has a bracket, and inside this bracket, it has parentheses. So, the order of operations is what? Always simplify the parentheses, bracket, the large bracket first. Large bracket. So let's simplify the expression inside the large bracket. And inside the large bracket, we have a parenthesis. So why don't we just simplify this parenthesis? So that means negative 3 multiply each term by negative 3. So there will be negative 3x. So multiply 7 by negative 3. So that is negative 21. And then combine, simplify the parenthesis, the bracket. So we can combine these two. Combine these two like terms. So 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So negative 1 means negative x. Minus 21. Can you see it? Negative 1x. You don't have to write negative 1x. Negative 1x is equal to negative x. Okay, then now distribute, right? So distribute this bracket by what? Negative 3. Like this. So negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. Negative times negative positive. And then multiply what? Negative 21 by negative 3. So plus 63. So negative 21 times negative 3. The sign is positive, which becomes plus. And then multiply 21 by 3 is 63. And then combine the like terms. So 2 plus 3 is 5x plus 63. Okay. Okay, problem 8. This is the last one. It's still the same thing. 3y minus 2. Bracket. We have a bracket. And then simplify the parentheses. So x stays the same. Multiply these 2 by what? Negative 4. Not 4. Multiply by negative 4. So negative 8. And then multiply negative 3y. Okay, negative 3y. Not 3y. Multiply this whole negative 3y by negative 4. So negative times negative is positive. 3 times 4 is 12y. Alright, and then the bracket contains 3 terms, and they are all different terms, right? Different, not like terms. So we will multiply each term by what? Negative 2. So there will be negative 2x. And then negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. And then 12y. This is positive 12y. Multiplied by negative 2 is negative 24y. And then combine the like terms. We have 2 like terms. So 3 minus 24. 3 minus 24 is negative 21y. And the other terms are just one single term, so leave it. Negative 21y minus 2x plus 16. All right, we are done.